Hey, it's Katie Kimball from kitchenstewardship.com, and today I'm going to do some freezer meal cooking. This is not really my thing, I have to admit, but I was looking through the Costco freezer meal plans from Erin Chase at $5 dinners. So she's got a package with 20 meals and they cost $150 at Costco. And I thought, this is just so tempting. Like, I love the idea of having easy meals, but I wasn't sure if it would be worth the time for me to put them all together. And partly because a lot of my meat's already frozen, a lot of my broth is already frozen, so to thaw and refreeze seemed silly. Then I realized I was going shopping at Costco, and I do buy my chicken in the refrigerated section, and I had some chicken stock in the refrigerator today, so I thought, alright, I'm going to do this small scale and see how I like it, because it actually will be easier this time rather than freezing all those parts individually. So I'm going to make a meal and see how fast it goes. And then I've got it in the freezer, and I realized another cool benefit to this whole idea of like freezer meals is that I get asked to take meals to people a lot. In Catholic moms groups, people are always having babies, and it's this huge mental challenge to plan like a double or triple meal for that week. So I thought, oh, how nice would it be to just be able to sign up and know that I have a couple in the freezer. So I'm gonna kind of try this and see how it goes. The meal I chose is called slow cooker taco soup. And it actually calls for ground beef, but all my beef is frozen. So I just switched that out for chicken. I'm sure it's going to be good. Erin's meals are all really like simple, family friendly, and they're super real food. She doesn't use a lot of canned junk. She does use stuff like, you know, like canned tomatoes or frozen vegetables, which are real food, convenience foods in my opinion. So it's great. They should go together really fast, and I'm confident that it's going to be delicious. So it's slow cooker taco soup, and I'm going to double the recipe because we eat a lot and we thrive on leftovers. So, start your timers. Let's see how fast this goes. I did prep a little bit. I have some things open so that you didn't have to watch me like open jars and stuff. These are just, I'm choosing chicken thighs because I've learned in other slow cooker recipes that you really almost can't tell the difference once you get sauce going with chicken thighs or chicken breasts, and thighs are less expensive, of course. I'm not cutting them up because similarly, anytime I use the slow cooker, it's really easy to just jam them up at the end and kind of shred them at the end. And how much work am I saving by not cutting this into bite-sized pieces? Hello. So this is going to be about 1.5 to 2 pounds of raw chicken. Let me get that out of the way. Okay. So that's in the bag. I chose to put my bag in a bowl just so in case it like falls over. I don't want to make a mess. I cook my own beans. So this is the equivalent of 2 cans of black beans. And those freeze fine, obviously. So that's 4 cups of black beans. I switched them to corn for green beans because I don't like eating that much corn, I guess. And one great thing about Erin's meal plans is every single recipe has both gluten-free and Whole30/paleo modifications at the bottom. So if you need to cut your carbs, or you're not eating grains or beans or corn or whatever, she gives you some ideas to switch it out, and most of the time it sounds like they would work pretty well. Chili powder, of course, if you're doing a taco soup. This is kind of like, I love that it doesn't use taco seasoning packets. So that's, again, double batch, 1/4 cup of chili powder. And then I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and 2 teaspoons of onion powder. And again, I love that we're keeping it simple. I didn't have to chop any onions or mince any garlic. And that's fine with me. Whatever, let's save some time and use it dry. It calls for salt to taste. I know that my homemade stock has no salt, so I'm going to do about 1.5 teaspoons, and obviously I can add more salt later. Oh, and then the cumin. There you go. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. I had it over there for another meal I'm going to try to make. And my broth, it calls for 2 to 3 cups of broth, and so I'm going to do, it's going to be about 5 for the double batch, just because that's what I had. And again, now I don't have to worry about like my glass jars breaking and juggling all this stuff. That's why it's in a bowl, friends. Oh my gosh. It does call for 2 cans of diced tomatoes, and wisely, I'm leaving those out because it's not going to be that hard to open them on the day of cooking, and clearly they would not have fit in this bag. Yo, you guys, that's awesome. I pre-labeled the bag per Erin's handy, helpful tip, trying to get all the air out of there. Good thing I did, because that would be a little bit hard to write on. Did I get everything in there? I got everything in there. That was really fast. And so now I'm going to try to freeze that nice and flat. $5 dinner meal plans. Of course, the whole meal plan is $5. What more can you ask? But this week, you could get it for 30 cents, actually. You could ask for more. Because the $5 Dinners Costco Meal Plan is part of the Ultimate Homemaking Bundle, which is an amazing deal. You've got to check out the details at kitchenstewardship.com/deal. This bundle is 100 resources for $29.97. And you guys, some of these resources retail at almost $100 a piece. A bunch of them retail at about 30 bucks. So even if you only find like 5 or 6 items that you love, you're still going to save at least 50%. There are so many great resources, and there's actually another freezer cooking resource in the bundle that I'm going to use too. It's called No Cook Freezer Meals by Kelly McNellis at New Leaf Wellness, and I've got another, actually I have 2 double batches prepped. So I'm going to end up with 4 meals in the freezer, because I decided why do all this work and not have dinner tonight, right? So I do have one that's going to go right into the slow cooker. From Kelly, I'm going to make slow cooker chicken curry and slow cooker chicken fajitas. I think I'm just going to show you the curry because it's just that this video is just going to get too long, right? But you'll just have to imagine the fajitas. But if you listen all the way to the end, you'll get the whole recipe, so whatever. Anyway, but both these books, you guys, you got to check it out. kitchenstewardship.com/deal. Now, let's keep cooking. Slow cooker chicken curry calls for 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Again, I'm switching this out to thighs because it's just, I mean, it's going to be all shredded up and it's going to be in all this like crazy spicy sauces, and I just guarantee that it's going to taste fine. So let's get this one out. Oh my gosh, don't leak. I'm so scared of that. I'm sure it's going to work. I totally trust Erin. I got my pre-labeled bag here. La la la. And I'll put it in the bowl again. Now Kelly does say to add the chicken breasts, or chicken, it's thighs now, to add the chicken last so that it's the first thing that goes in the slow cooker. So that's kind of a good tip. I've got 8 cups of vegetables kind of prepped here. I've got carrots and broccoli and green beans. So I'm going to do half in the bag and then half will go in the slow cooker in a minute here. I'm going to try to get it kind of even. The recipe actually called for 2 cups of frozen peas, but I just decided I wanted more of a variety because I don't know, I love curry, yummy, yummy, yummy. And then we're going to do 2 cans of coconut milk. And like I said, I did do some prep. I think for the chicken curry and the chicken fajitas, and again, this is 2 double batches, right? So it's a quadruple batch because I'm calling each double batch my one dinner. That's just how we eat. Oh my gosh, what would we do without leftovers? So I did prep things, and I think there was a lot more cutting for the chicken fajitas with like onions and peppers and all those veggies I just cut. It was probably a half hour to 45 minutes total for all these meals to kind of get everything out and organized, and that was with my baby in the Moby, who, you know, that like, it's great and it's super convenient, but you go a little slower with a baby in your front than you would like if you were just buzzing around the kitchen. Then it calls for, and again, this is a double batch, calls for 2 cans of tomato paste. These cans are actually from Costco because I was dipping into my reserves. I ran out of what I usually use, which is the glass jars from Tropical Traditions. But I always have like an 8-pack from Costco on reserve. So I'm putting 2 cans of tomato paste in here. And then it also calls for 2 cans of tomato sauce, but I decided that to save space, it would make more sense to do 2 cans of tomato paste. Or 2 more cans of tomato paste, and then I just wrote on here to add a cup of water, and that will kind of equal the tomato sauce. And it will save some space in my freezer because this bag is about to get really, really full, and I was contemplating doing 2 bags, and I didn't, and we're going to find out if that was smart or not in just a minute. So let me get all this tomato paste in here. Woo! Right in there. Now for the spices, and again I have written on there to add the cup of water. The spices are some garlic. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of dried minced garlic, and I cut corners. She called for real garlic, but I'm not going to do it. And it called for chopped onions, and I'm cutting corners again. I'm using I just measured my hand, that's about a quarter cup, and that's about a cup of dried minced onion. And then of course, what's curry without curry, right? So pick your chicken curry, 3 tablespoons of curry powder. Kelly's recipe called for 2 tablespoons, and I realized that 3 is not double 2, but this is hot curry powder, and my kids would not be able to handle it, I don't think, if I used 4 tablespoons of hot curry powder. It's just not going to happen. The recipe calls for 1 teaspoon crushed red pepper, and to double that, I'm going to do 1 teaspoon crushed red pepper. See note about children above. My husband could just add more the day of. And then I need 2 teaspoons of salt. Again, the recipe was 1, doubling it for 2. Woo. That's so loud. Quit banging the bowl. Did I get everything? The recipe called for 3 tablespoons of honey. I'm just not going to put that in. We're not doing sweeteners right now. And I can't imagine that it will need the honey. So that's it other than the chicken. So what I did is I just opened all my chicken and dumped it into the slow cooker. So I'm going to pull out half and put it in there. And that will be 4 pounds. Get closer here. I don't like chicken mess, you guys. Isn't that? It's always a problem, chicken mess. So this will be 4 pounds of chicken, and this is definitely going to fill the bag. I had thought about maybe leaving the coconut milk out. That might be something to consider, just because, again, like, how hard is it to write on there, add 2 cans of coconut milk, you know? So here we go, we got 4 pounds. This is going to easily make like a nice big meal, and I can put rice in my rice cooker. At the same time, we're entering like our super busy season where we've got soccer and we've got track going on, and we have a lot of times where we will have to walk in the door and eat. So this is going to be fantastic. To cook this, you're supposed to thaw it in the fridge overnight or toss it in a pot of warm water for like a quicker thaw, but you can put it in the slow cooker partially frozen, which is really nice, and you just kind of add a couple hours. So we just do that first thing in the morning. That is full. Again, good thing I wrote on it first. So, you guys, super deal, Ultimate Homemaking Bundle, kitchenstewardship.com/deal. You gotta check it out. That was yummy, slow cooker chicken curry. I hope you got a chance to write down the recipe, because then you got one more on reserve. I'm Katie Kimball from kitchenstewardship.com, and dinner is ready for 3 nights now.